Hi, Jam Kids. I'm so glad to be here with you tonight to tell you your story. First of all, Pastor Nancy, she's really sad she couldn't be here with you, but she did ask me to go ahead and tell you the story, so that's what I'm going to do. Now, some of you know me as Miss Yvonne from Crystal Altman's class. Other people will know me as Teacher Yvonne because you've been in my Sabbath school class. And the rest of you, I can hardly wait to meet in person. Tonight's story is called Sand Dollars. When our daughter became a camp counselor over at Sunset Lake, she was going to be gone. They had camp for 6 weeks, and each week a new batch of kids came in. And Betsy, that was our daughter's name, she had a cabin, and there were 12 kids in her cabin, 12 girls. Well, her very first week, we went over to visit her, and first we went to the beach for a few days. And as we were walking down the beach, we were looking around, and I saw something I've never seen before. Thousands and thousands and thousands of sand dollars, every one of them broken. Now, I want to show you what size those sand dollars were. They were big. They weren't just little bitty ones. You see how big my hand is? That's pretty big. And that was the size of the sand dollars. That's a pretty big sand dollar, isn't it? Well, we were walking down the beach, and I kept saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry all these are broken, because it would be fun to take one home." And then I got an idea. And I said, "Lord, would it be okay if we found 12 sand dollars? Because I'd love to take them back to Betsy, and she could give them to her kids at the end of their week as a special present from her camp counselor. And it could help them remember what a good time they had at summer camp." And I prayed, and we walked for quite a while, and there was only broken sand dollars. Well, after a little while, I said, "Oh, guess what, Vaughn," to my husband, "there's this whole sand dollar." And so I picked it up, and we walked a little further, and there was another one. And we picked it up, and as we walked along, we eventually found 12 whole sand dollars. And I said, "Oh, Lord, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Lord, could we find 12 more sand dollars? Because then she could have sand dollars to give to the second week at camp when the kids come." And so we walked along, and we found some more sand dollars and some more. And you guessed it, we found 12 more sand dollars. Now, then I said, "Lord, could I ask you for 12 more? 3 weeks of her kids, they could go home with a special gift from summer camp." And we found 12 more sand dollars. And I said, "Oh, Lord, there's 3 more weeks in the summer of summer camp, and that means 3 more groups of kids. Could we find enough sand dollars for every child to take one home out of Betsy's cabin to have a special, special remembrance of summer camp?" And we walked along, and we kept finding whole sand dollars, but we'd find whole sand dollars on top of thousands of broken sand dollars. And you know what? We found enough sand dollars for 6 weeks worth of camp. Get ready to do some math. And there were 12 kids each week. So that's 6 times 12. How many sand dollars did we have to find? That's right. We found 72 sand dollars. And then I said, "Lord, could we have just a couple extra in case anything breaks?" And we found 2 more. So we found 74 sand dollars. And we never found another one that was whole. And we didn't have a bag to put them in. We didn't have a box to put them in. We didn't have a bucket to put them in. So we were carrying these giant loads of sand dollars all stacked on our arms. And we got back to our car, and then we drove over to the summer camp, and we told Betsy the plan and how God had helped us find 74 sand dollars so that each one of those kids, the girls in her camp, could take home a sand dollar at the end of the week, plus 2 sand dollars just in case any got broken. And at the end of camp each week, Betsy would say to her girls, now I have a special present for you, and it's a sand dollar to remind you what a fun time you had at camp, and to also remind you that somebody was praying for you and that God cares about you having a good time at camp every single week. Thanks for listening to the story this week, and I hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.